few days' time, the Ballon d'Or, the most prestigious award in all of world football, will be given to the best player of the 24-25 season. And with last year's surprise Ballon d'Or winner Rodri beating Vinicius, this year it seems that anyone could win. So that is why today we ranked the top 30 Ballon d'Or nominees, and we averaged out our personal ranking to see who Box to Box truly believes is the Ballon d'Or winner. Boys, are we ready?
We're ready, Millie, but before we get into it, if you guys want to support us, the best way is Patreon. Link is down below in the description. If you guys head over to our Patreon and sign up right now, you'll get access to over 50 of the videos already posted on there, dozens of hours of content, including weekly Q&As, Team of the Months, extended podcasts you won't find anywhere else on our channel. If you sign up in our top tier, you'll also get added to a private Discord server where we're pretty much active every day, chatting football, life, and nonsense with the community. And if you sign up to the top tier, once a month, we drop a Patreon exclusive YouTube video just for the real ones. So if you guys been enjoying the content and want to see more of it, make sure to check out our Patreon. Link is down below in the description. Now back to the video. Now without further ado, Millie, who is number 30?
Boys, with any list, we will start at the bottom. And in last place on our rankings was a German Don that got a PL record transfer. Florian Wirtz was electric for Bayer Leverkusen in the 2024-25 Champions League, bagging 6 goals and 1 assist in 9 appearances. Averaging almost a goal contribution every game at Europe's top level, his creative touch, clutch finishing, and all-round attacking output kept Leverkusen dangerous across all competitions.
Well-deserved, Florian. Well-deserved. 30th, dead last.
There were two, 3 players. By the way, Millie, quite the kit selection choice on a Ballon d'Or video. Just saying. But
Spurs. Not one Tottenham player on this list.
But the last 2, 3 on my list, I was kind of looking at them like, bro, what are these guys doing on the list? Squirts was definitely there. He was 30 on my list.
Dr. Doofenshmirtz.
I think that's a little harsh. Like, considering I know Bayer Leverkusen got destroyed by Bayern, but Wirtz had a couple of man of the match performances in Champions League.
I think coming off that undefeated season with the high expectations, Bayer Leverkusen did not have that great of a season. Getting blown out by Bayern in the Champions League as well, it did not look good.
Yeah, but to put him 30, I believe there's someone else that's way worse.
Well, listen, Varvar and Pala put him 30th. Firms, you put him 28, and I actually put him 26.
He had no silverware, did not have a ridiculously good goals and assists season. He was decent, but I still, like, what differentiates, let's say...
him from Musiala.
Exactly. Like, what's the difference?
Well, where's Musiala, to be honest? He should have been here, but
so then let's just flood everyone. Let's do a top 50 next year.
Fuck it, Modric.
No, but that's why he's low. But I think you guys are forgetting that he did get like man of the match performances back to back in Champions League.
Sure, so did Gatti, but I don't care.
He actually did perform pretty well.
Gatti got 2 man of the match,
1 assist.
Yeah, he was good in Champions League.
He was decent,
and as soon as he got injured for that Bayern game, they got destroyed. Whether he was the defining factor in that, we'll see. But I mean, it would have helped. We're
not questioning his quality as a player. It's just last season, was he a top 30 player in the world? I don't know. In my opinion,
it was a digression. From what he had the season prior. So definitely 30th place is where he will be staying. Gentlemen, we are on to the next player in the 29th spot with an average of 28.25. CL finalist. Let's see it. Denzel Dumfries continued to show his attacking prowess for Inter in last year's campaign. In Serie A, he scored 7 goals, the most by any defender in one of Europe's big 5 leagues in 24-25. He also contributed defensively with solid tackling and interceptions, helping keep stability at the back while still pressing forward.
Denzel Dumfries?
Well, this is my 30th.
FC, we are 2 for 2.
This is also my 30.
I mean, bro, realistically, in Serie A, he didn't do much. Yeah, he had a better season than last season, but I don't think that's the metric.
I think he was actually very one of our best players last season.
Sure.
Really helped us. He was very crucial to our CL final push. But unfortunately, you look at the other names on this list, you're looking at the effectiveness, you're looking at the goals, you're looking at the silverware. I really felt like I had no choice but to put him last.
I had him 24.
That's quite high.
That's respectable.
Listen,
respectable. What's respectable about that? He had a couple big performances.
Insane Champions League final run, bro.
He had a memorable season last year.
Nuno Tavares was better than him in Serie A last season.
No, he wasn't.
Yes, he was.
Bro, Nuno Tavares' second half of the season was absolute garbage.
Yeah, I agree.
Nuno Tavares came out the gate.
Why the fuck is this guy talking like he watches Nuno Tavares, bro?
Am I lying?
I actually can't believe it. I can't believe it.
Dumfries has been better than Nuno Tavares.
Just because you didn't see the assists on FotMob that made you know about Nuno Tavares in the first
offers
place.
Nothing outside of goals and assists for a left back. He offers nada.
Dumfries, he's only on this list because of that game versus Barca.
Yeah, exactly.
Only reason.
That's
why I do
it.
Performance.
Only reason.
Yeah, that was the highlight.
Okay, so independent performances.
No,
get you.
I put him 30.
With both legs, he was very good.
I'm talking to him, but I'm looking at you.
So boys, Denzel Dumfries is in that 29th spot, but the 28th spot, gentlemen, we are not going too far from Milano. Let's see who the 28th spot is. Lautaro Martinez once again shouldered the burden of Inter's attack, leading the lines with his trademark work rate and clinical finishing. He hit 24 goals across all competitions, keeping Inter in the Serie A title fight and driving them deep into Europe. Even though the season ended in disappointment on the continental stage, Lautaro's consistency and leadership reaffirmed his role as the heartbeat of Inter's attack.
Pal FC, we are 3 for 3. We are the hive mind.
I mean, yeah, my order is slightly different, but yeah, me too.
Where'd you have Lautaro?
Lautaro had him 29. Again, I think this is a regression season. We brought it up for Wirtz, and that's why Wirtz is low. But Lautaro has not been that good this season or last season.
No, I think he was actually very important.
In Champions League, maybe.
But again, I think you have to put more weight on Champions League.
Sure.
Serie A, you could say that he was somewhat disappointing, but he still scored. I think most of the team let him down rather than just him. If I had to look at the player that gave the most, the MVP of last season, it would probably be either Bastoni or Lautaro. Like
Lautaro MVP of last season.
No, I said Bastoni, Lautaro. Bastoni or Lautaro. Lautaro.
Dumfries was better than Lautaro last season.
Okay, yeah, he had moments, yes, but Lautaro for the importance of the team. I think he was.
What the fuck did Lautaro do?
Really
it was
does
his
not
worst
matter.
Serie A campaign in his entire Inter career was his worst.
What, statistically?
Yeah.
Well, no,
I
considering
wouldn't say so.
11 goals. He scored 11 goals in Serie A last year.
Yeah, I said yeah, but I'm talking about Champions League. Champions League, I put more weight, and he showed up in Champions League.
Okay, so now you ended up trophyless last season because he didn't show up in Serie A.
He wasn't
Bro,
good.
Retegui was top scorer, Keane was top scorer. Like all these players, you're not expecting to score more than Lautaro, historically at least. And
Yeah,
they
I
did.
agree. Listen, I have no problem with him at that 28th spot. So
He should, in my opinion, this is like Wirtz. He shouldn't even be on the list.
But who would you put him?
Dumfries, I'm like, okay, he deserves to be on the list.
I think Bastoni maybe deserves to be on this
Yes,
list
more than
Better,
Martinez.
That's fine.
So, in my opinion, I had Martinez 29th. I don't know why you guys had him. Like, for me, Dumfries had a significantly
I had him
better
29th.
season.
I gave him a bit more grace. Obviously, bias had to kick in there.
It's a little crazy.
Oh, but when it's Dumfries, it's...
Bro, 23 is crazy considering who I have at 23.
Yeah.
Yeah, he showed up in Champions League and he made it to CL final. Yeah, he didn't score. I get it. Yeah, I get it. But he was there. He was present. He did the most he could do.
That's the bar now.
No, but he had a good Champions League
Yes.
campaign.
He was there.
Just
So give,
not the
CL
best
Final,
at the
not
end.
only 22 players were there in the CL final, and he was one of them.
So give
Champions League final.
Darmian a fucking...
Okay, you know that's a difference.
Why isn't Di Marco on this list then?
Because you know that the significance of those players is completely
Marco?
different.
Di Marco last season, aside from the end where he gassed out, was...
Di Marco
Anyways, I'm so
garbage,
happy we
second
don't have
half.
to talk about Inter anymore after this.
No, but you know,
So happy.
we will be because
No,
from 27
why?
to 23, I'm gonna every player you mention, I'm gonna ask you why are they worse than Lautaro?
Oh, Tavernac.
So let's.
Why would you need to do that? You send
Because you
Juve
put-
players on this list.
Because you put Lautaro at 23.
I don't see. Yeah, because I think that he was important to the club that made it to a Champions League final. The conversation would be completely different from you guys if we were one game change in Serie A and then we had a decent result in Champions League final. That would be
true.
completely.
I know,
different.
but Ballon d'Or favors winners.
And I didn't put him as a winner. Like I put him.
No, the list favors winners. Unfortunately, well, that's why there's fucking. That's why bro. If Havertz was on Inter last season, he probably would have gotten a Ballon d'Or
Well, if
nomination.
Arsenal had the season that Inter had last season, it would be considered a success.
Well, we did.
Yeah, 1 point off of winning the.
But we both won nothing.
Yeah, but
And you're in
we went
Serie A.
further. We went further.
Oh, yeah.
We went further. So
Low-key palate cooking with that statement. I can't care.
why?
Because they finished second, trophyless, like Inter.
Yeah.
And they play in the Prem, you play in Serie A. And they played a CL semi-final, lost to PSG. You made a CL final, lost to PSG in a more embarrassing fashion, to be honest. But
We went further though, and we were closer than Arsenal.
you had a Mickey Mouse run of Barca and Bayern.
Still take that second at Manchester United, even though you were 17 points back.
100%.
Yeah,
But the
okay.
bar is in fucking hell for me.
Yeah.
Anyways, guys, the players have emotions. Don't forget, Millie said that.
Anyways, I am so happy that we don't have to talk about any more Inter players, so I don't have to hear it from the fucking peanut gallery. But let's head to the next player, gentlemen. We are at the 27th spot, and we're headed to Liverpool. Let's see who it is. Alexis McAllister thrived under new manager Arne Slot at Liverpool, showing that he was the metronome in that midfield. Trusted in multiple roles, he brought composure, vision, and work rate that steadied the team in a transitional season. His 7 goals and 6 assists only hint at his true value, controlling tempo, pressing smartly, and giving balance to a side, reshaping its identity post-Klopp.
Pal FC 4 for 4, and you know what, Millie? Lautaro's better than McAllister last season. I'll give you that one.
I think
we shouldn't hear Lautaro's name for the rest of the video.
I'm telling you, until 23, we're hearing it.
Brother, people want to hear about everyone else. So no one wants to hear about Lautaro.
Okay, so talk about McAllister.
You talk about McAllister. You guys are on that side. Go talk.
McAllister.
Yeah, McAllister.
He was one of the best midfielders in the Premier League.
Serie A.
In Serie A.
No, he was. He was crucial for Liverpool.
But,
he was, stat-wise, he wasn't that much. In the big moments, we didn't really see him, but he was effective. I think he's around, I put him 25th.
There's a reason why McAllister's, like, since he's gotten, even at Liverpool, but even at Brighton, when he was at Brighton, though every team that he's been on, I feel like has like overperformed and been like a very good, even the international squad, Argentina, since he's gotten there, I feel like Argentina has taken a new level. You hear about Messi speaking about him during that World Cup run, it was like Messi doesn't speak glowingly about every player, but he spoke about McAllister like he's like a serious midfielder. So I think if you really watch the game, it's like Vitinha. If you watch the game, you really understand the importance of McAllister and how much he drives forward that Liverpool team.
Yeah.
So I think it's justified to be on this list. It is one of those players that you're like, okay, what did he do last year that really stood out? But I think with a deeper CL run, we wouldn't really be going crazy about this pick. You would actually be higher, I believe.
I do think he would be definitely higher because unfortunately these results are influenced heavily on the team performance. We know Liverpool in the Premier League were fantastic. Alexis McAllister was fantastic. But in the Champions League, because of that early exit, albeit it was a penalty shootout, it's not necessarily his fault.
And against the eventual winners that beat the Inter 5-0.
Yeah.
No, but yeah,
also
you're right.
Also beat Liverpool. Also beat Manchester City. Also beat Aston Villa. So all the Prem. Okay, got it. But we'll mention the Inter one.
But yeah, Vavra said it well. I think the list is so stacked that you have to micro-analyze these players. And McAllister, in the grand scheme of football, like there are maybe some instances where he could have done better, but he had a great season. Just
it's hard to rate. It's hard to rate a guy like McAllister without watching him week in, week out, because you can't trust goals and assists. Like a guy scores a hat trick on the weekend, you know that guy played amazing.
Yeah.
McAllister drops an 8.8 in a 2-0 win versus Arsenal. And if you didn't watch the game, you won't know how influential he was to that game.
He's a baller.
Boys, we're on to the 26th spot in our Ballon d'Or rankings. And the player up next, we'll see what people think about it, but we are headed to Madrid, fellas. Jude Bellingham came into the 2024-25 season with very high expectations for Real Madrid. While his goal tally dropped from the previous season, he shifted subtly into a more creative all-round midfield role. He scored 9 goals in La Liga, added a healthy number of assists, and was still integral to Madrid's attacking play through his passing and his movement.
A little bit of a regression stat-wise, but I think he just became more defensive.
I agree.
And that had an impact on how I viewed him a little bit, because I do think he's crucial when he goes up and he's scoring those crucial goals. And this year we saw it a bit less, and we saw it with Real Madrid. They don't need it anymore.
I'm not going to freak out because I had him at 24, so it's not like it's like miles away from where he actually landed. But you can, if you just watch one game, you see that Bellingham, like there's no, under last season's management, there was no area for him to move up the pitch into like, bro, Mbappe's there, Vinicius is there. Like, there's no reason for Bellingham to be in the box like he was the 2 seasons ago where they're missing a striker. Yeah. It's just not the situation, but he's still amazing last season.
Also, you have to keep in mind Real Madrid last season losing to Barcelona on multiple occasions in embarrassing fashion, so that did not help. Champions League, disappointed. I think a lot of people were expecting them to go a little deeper than they did, and unfortunately Bellingham was one of the poster boys of that. So
and last year, I'm pretty sure in Ballon d'Or, I think he was between that 3 to 5 range. He was 3. I think I believe I remember him being 3 also. So, and you all have to say that not only did Madrid take a step back last season, you have to say also Bellingham took a step back last season. I think obviously he was playing deeper, but 9 goals, 9 assists in 50-something games. It's like, okay, that's an obvious regression from where he was, which is Ballon d'Or podium. So obviously he's not bad enough to be off the list, but it's like, we can. It's Jude Bellingham we're talking about here.
Favors the winners though, because if they did the quadruple like PSG, Bellingham would be in the top 10.
They didn't. So we have to.
But it's also the fashion that they lost those games. It was very embarrassing.
Yeah, but you saw Bellingham's frustration in half of those. Like in the El Clasico, the guy's throwing his arms up because somebody's not tracking back. Vinicius makes a bad decision.
So our first Madrid player is in that 26th spot, boys. The next one up, we're headed to Dortmund. Gentlemen, it's the black and yellows. Serhou Guirassy had a breakout season at Dortmund, netting 21 goals in the Bundesliga and 13 in the Champions League. In the Champions League, he shared the competition's top scorer honor. Across all matches, he ended up with 38 goals and 50-odd appearances, often delivering in big moments with hat-tricks, braces, and important goals in Europe, as Dortmund pushed through a season of ups and downs.
I'm actually quite happy with how this is going.
I'm surprised. I had Guirassy much higher.
I had Guirassy 27, but honestly, this is harsh again. I just feel like he had an amazing season, honestly. Even in Champions League, he was a top scorer at one point, if not the top scorer
of the top scorer.
league. Of the entire
Champions League, yeah.
Honestly, like he showed it with the hat-trick against Barcelona. Like he had big moments as well.
I had Guirassy at 19.
I had Guirassy at
Not
18.
crazy.
I had him a little low. I had him 29, so...
I believe that if I find this kind of hypocritical because I feel like if Guirassy, you swapped his club badge for probably Bayern, you're probably talking about him in like the top 15.
Yeah, but Bayern's also CL finalists. Also,
I don't think that he scored 40-something goals last year. Like I understand that Lewandowski also scored 40-something goals last year. I have them around each other. I'm not going to say exactly where I have Lewandowski, but I feel like if he deserves the same respect last season as Lewandowski got.
We're not saying those goals don't matter. We're just saying that at one point you have to microanalyze. You have to look at the achievements, the big moments. Because at this point, then I'm curious where you put Gyökeres.
Now we can start comparing. Millie had Bellingham higher than Guirassy. Both went trophyless, but Guirassy, in my personal opinion, had a better season than Bellingham. So I don't find that justified. Well, I don't really understand how you can think otherwise, to be honest. Guirassy propelled his team forward, even though his team was kind of on and off. He was the only person on Dortmund that was consistent the entire season throughout the whole way. So, in my personal opinion, it's kind of Dortmund tax that you guys are
worse than Lautaro.
He had a better season than Lautaro.
I agree. Much better season than Lautaro.
I find you're not even talking about the same tier last year.
I agree. How many CL goals did he score? 13?
13 in 13 games or 12 games, something like that.
Let me check where Dortmund finished though. They finished 10th. They finished 10th in the Champions League, so they were in the playoff. Atalanta finished above them.
Okay, Madrid finished 20-something, so keep going.
And Rafinha was tied with him on goals.
How many games?
Well, obviously Barcelona and Bayern played more games than Dortmund.
Point is, he had a fucking ridiculous season, and he's not getting the respect just because he has a Dortmund badge next to his name and not a Madrid name.
And Lautaro was nowhere near any of those stats.
Yeah, but they were also in the mix for multiple competitions.
And they won none. Yeah. I don't care.
Yeah, being in the mix doesn't matter if you didn't win. If PSG didn't get a good...
It doesn't matter. So then Arsenal, let's put Saka here. It doesn't matter.
Arsenal gets no points from any of you guys when they finish second.
Dortmund finished
0 points.
4th last season in Bundesliga. 4th. You understand they were 2 points off of playing Europa? Those goals did not get them a title. The goals did not get them...
Neither did Lautaro's.
But Lautaro's got them closer than him.
But Lautaro didn't even score goals, so it's not even like we're comparing goals to goals.
Okay, bro. If Lautaro's going to be the fucking barometer of everything, like, you guys are just pinning it on him.
No,
okay, I'm sorry. I should have put him lower. I'm sorry to everyone. I should have put him lower.
But we're talking about...
I can't have a fucking opinion here.
So you're acting like it's an unreasonable comparison.
No.
Guirassy, a striker who scored a lot of goals but went trophyless, versus Lautaro, a striker who scored goals and went trophyless. You're acting like that's a crazy comparison to make on a Ballon d'Or list. Why are we even doing this video at this point then?
Okay, because you're saying trophyless, and then winning only matters. So the whole top 10 should only be PSG. Because Barca didn't win a Champions League, so that shouldn't matter. And because the Champions League is worth more than La Liga and everything, that shouldn't matter. So then it should all be PSG.
I'm just saying if Guirassy did this for let's say Arsenal instead, it would be you would be speaking about him on a different
But fourth. They were 4th. You understand? They were 4th. Inter finished above them in Champions League.
I don't think
Lautaro was key to that. I don't understand. Yes, he was. He was our top scorer in Champions League.
I don't know. I disagree.
I see both sides. You guys are just like you can't put full emphasis on trophies because then you're just looking at PSG players, and you can't put full emphasis on just goals because if it's just stats, Gyökeres should be a fucking top 3 at that point.
But Gyökeres got a lot of boosts because of how many goals he scored.
Yes.
And Guirassy probably scored double the amount of goals Lautaro did.
I think, he did. I don't know about...
Might be over double.
Maybe a little bit less than double.
Lautaro scored how many goals in last season?
But now...
Hey, bro, I'm tired of it. We get it.
Bro, we're comparing players.
No, you're only comparing Lautaro. You didn't compare anyone else on this list.
Because how am I going to compare Bellingham?
I literally brought up Bellingham.
But Bellingham is not...
You just didn't get triggered about Bellingham, but you got triggered about Lautaro.
Yeah, it's always about getting triggered.
At the end of the day, listen, I put Guirassy over Lautaro, but in terms of big moments, it's debatable at the end of the day, because what big moments would you bring up for Guirassy?
What big moments would you bring up for Lautaro?
That's why Guirassy's ahead of him, just because he scored a couple more goals.
Hat-trick against Barcelona.
Yeah,
In
and
a
I
game
brought
they
that
were
up.
already down by 5 goals.
He scored a hat-trick against
But
Barcelona.
they lost, so it doesn't matter, right? But they lost.
kind of agree, yeah.
Okay, so then why does it matter then?
So
why are you bringing it up?
Whatever, we're done speaking about Guirassy.
We're done speaking about Lautaro. Fuck.
We will probably still speak about Lautaro later on in the video.
I agree.
So, boys, on to the 24th position. We were talking last year about this player in the top 3. Fortunately, it's a bit of a drop. Let's see who it is. Vinicius Jr. had a strong La Liga campaign, scoring 11 times and having 8 assists across 30 appearances. This included a hat-trick, but despite periodic dips in form and injury spells, he also added moments of brilliance that swung tight games for Real Madrid, reaffirming his place as one of their major attacking threats.
You can't disagree with it, even though I'm still a big Vinny Jr. fan.
Where's he at then?
24?
He's at the 24th spot, but the average was 23.
I had him 23.
I had him at
So
25.
Kind of
25
makes
as well.
sense. Vinny Jr.
I had him 19. And honestly, I'm a big Vinny hater. But listen, I don't know. He still
ass.
had the stats. He didn't have the big moments. But I mean, 24 is fair. It's around that area.
He was ass whenever they needed
For
him. He
his
was ass.
standards, he was ass.
For standards. There was a big drop-off.
An unnamed
Yes,
player
yes,
dropped that
yeah.
season, you're saying, wow, what a season he had.
I agree, but in the moments that Vinicius was needed by his team, it seemed like he lost the Ballon d'Or and lost all of his motivation to be at the top level. Bro, the guy was not Vinicius Jr. from 2 seasons ago. It was a shell of the 2 seasons ago Vinicius.
Yeah, but man, we are talking about a Vinicius Jr. that last season was 2nd place in Ballon d'Or. I think the expectations were high, and he said himself he would even be better than the season prior. And unfortunately, we didn't see that to the level that he was speaking about. I think it's fair where we're putting him because a lot of the other players above him, listen, at the end of the day, had significant moments last year. Unfortunately, he didn't. And in those big games, again, the same thing with Bellingham, Barcelona in Champions League. He didn't necessarily.
I don't even remember one big Vinny Jr. moment last year.
Bro, he got fucking patched. They patched him.
So, boys, on to the next player. We're nearly rounding out the 20s. This player had monster moments, especially in the Champions League. Let's see who it is. Declan Rice continued to mature as a midfield leader at Arsenal, showing attacking bite while still showing that he could anchor that midfield. He not only pulled strings in build-up and defensive transitions, but delivered in crucial moments, including 2 iconic free kicks in a Champions League quarterfinal first leg versus Real Madrid. And he was voted the Arsenal Player of the Season.
It's kind of crazy to me he's this low.
That's low, in my opinion.
Because I'm still looking at some players here that deserve to be named way before Declan Rice.
Declan Rice was, I guess Rodri was injured. I can say that Declan Rice was the best midfielder in the Premier League last season.
No,
Yeah.
Moses Caicedo.
No, I disagree. Moises
CDM?
Caicedo's Club World Cup really added a lot of juice to his let's say agenda, but I'm saying in the Prem
The Premier was
specifically
insane.
last year,
Both players were insane. Like, let's not act like Declan Rice was shit. But
Yeah, but this is not about Caicedo.
Yeah, it's
Caicedo ain't
not.
on this list.
we had Declan Rice, I believe, last year on our Ballon d'Or rankings, like similar position, but this year he had the iconic CL moment that should, like, for normal people, it pushes them up higher up onto the rankings. Like, everyone remembers those 2 Declan Rice free kicks. You were like, holy shit.
And I think those will drive a lot of votes for him in the Ballon d'Or ranking as well. I think that was I think he would say the biggest moment of his life was
It
scoring.
was one of the biggest moments of last season, to be honest.
I agree. One of the highlights, I would say. So
Yeah.
for him to be the key part of that, I think that definitely gets him more points, gets him up this ranking. Well, Valver, you had him 21, Pala at 18, Firms had him at the 23, I had him at the 24. So averaged out to 21 and a half.
I think we'll
That's a good
see the
spot.
voting.
Makes a lot of
I think the
sense.
voting will have him higher than 23.
Yeah, I
real
agree.
life.
Because there some players here that I'm looking at, like we'll
McTominay.
speak about it, but I just don't see. No, McTominay, whatever. I actually did have whatever. We're gonna speak about it.
But listen, like for Arsenal, would you say he's been the best last
He was
year?
Arsenal's player of the season last year.
You agree with that?
Yeah, I agree with that.
Him or Gabriel, but probably him.
Yeah, I would say Declan Rice.
The players voted him as the player of the season, so I would agree with the players. Especially last year when they don't have a Zubimendi that they do now, it's like who's carrying the load in midfield? It was all him.
And then when they needed a forward midfielder, he's there.
Boys, we are not done with Premier League players. The next player on this list in the 22nd position was one of Manchester City's best. Let's see who it is. Erling Haaland picked up where he left off last season, smashing records at Manchester City while having an insane start to the season with back-to-back hat-tricks. He became the quickest player in Premier League history to hit 100 goal involvements, doing it in only 94 games, and ended the season as City's leading scorer in every competition.
You see, for me, I find it unjustified having Haaland over Declan Rice.
I agree.
Last year, Haaland was very good, but he went trophyless just like Declan Rice, and he didn't have his most outstanding individual campaign. Like, he was good.
But I think we underrate Haaland because even his bad seasons, like he scored 31 goals all comps, which is crazy for a striker.
But
Chris Wood, Haaland,
so now we went.
Chris Wood didn't have 31 goals.
They had the same amount of goals.
I want to bring up the
Not in
difference.
Champions League, though.
Haaland did battle injuries last season, so there is that aspect. But
Well, he battled the mediocre Man City. Like, it was just not a good Man City last year.
I want to bring up the difference in if Guirassy had this season, he wouldn't even be on the Champions League list.
Yes.
Versus if you swap them names, like Guirassy, they both went trophyless. Haaland actually lost earlier in the Champions League than Guirassy, and finished in 4th place also in his league. So for me, having Guirassy underneath Haaland to me is a bit unjustified.
You would put Haaland above Guirassy.
Under Guirassy, yeah.
Clearly.
I mean, you bring up the Premier League as the toughest league. Haaland was still one of the top scorers
but
there.
Guirassy also ended up top scorer of the Champions League and ended up with like 10 plus more goals in all comps.
But Champions League, like at that point, the margins are so small. Like, it's like, yeah, you could bring it up, but it's
the
big moments too.
Man City didn't even make the round of 16. I think we kind of forget that. Man City lost in the playoff.
Yeah, against Real Madrid.
Yeah.
But is that Haaland's fault completely? It's the same discussion with Guirassy. Like,
exactly. That's
you
why
can't single them out.
You can compare them, and then you can use their Champions League stats equivalent because they both played the same opposition.
I don't know. Haaland, you know the type of player he is. He's kind of getting the same treatment as almost like a Vinny Jr.
But
in the sense that you know that he has that ability.
You're putting name tax into your voting.
Why does he have that tax?
But this is a 24-25 voting. It's not a career voting.
And I agree. And last year, even with those setbacks at the club level, the individual level, he was still a top 5 Premier League player.
There's debatable to that, to be honest.
There's no other striker. I'm sorry. There's no other striker in the Premier League that offers what
Last
Haaland
year, you could argue Isak was better than Haaland. You could argue.
Holy agenda
just on that season.
Holy agenda switch.
He's not a better player. I'm saying last season you could argue Isak was better than Gyökeres. Better than Haaland.
Gyökeres ran.
Well, he was definitely better than Gyökeres. How the fuck is Gyökeres not been? Whatever. That's a whole other conversation. But like, to me, this is a bit of name tax, to be honest. I had him 26, to be honest.
I had him 21.
I'm 23.
Yeah, I had him higher. I had him 15. So that obviously pushed it up. You guys could say something. It's okay. Go. Don't worry. I'm cool now.
No. The comment section's already doing their job for us.
So it seems we have some dividing opinions on where Haaland finishes. But boys, the next player up, we're not done with the strikers, gentlemen. This one is probably the most contentious. We shall see who it is, boys. Let's reveal it. Victor Gyökeres ripped it up at Sporting with back-to-back Primera Liga titles. He finished as top scorer with 39 league goals and over 50 in all competitions. And despite a hamstring injury that sidelined him in parts, he delivered clutch performances with hat-tricks and big goals in Europe and ended with a domestic double.
Yeah.
This is egregious.
I'm 27.
Everything you just said
out the window.
Everything you just said. Everything you just said.
Lost in the playoffs of Champions League.
You expect Sporting to go higher than that?
It's not, but he had a good season. Yes, 100%.
Bro,
but
individually, this guy was insane.
Played in the Portuguese league. Didn't even score important goals against Benfica, Porto, and stuff. He scored a couple.
He did. Bro, that's a gimmick. That's a gimmick.
He scored 39 goals in 33 games. He scored like 1 goal against Benfica and Porto.
Why are you just talking out of your ass?
Okay, sure. Yeah, for
Go
sure.
look up the stats. Look up the stats. Bro, it's a gimmick. This whole thing that Gyökeres didn't score versus big
while
teams.
I'm finding the stats, so he's gonna speak louder and louder so that it sounds like he's right while I'm trying to find.
Bro, you just ranted to Millie for fucking 5 minutes about, oh my god, Guirassy, bro, if he was switching shoes and he was playing for Man City with the badge and whatever, all this stupidity, and now Gyökeres, because you have an agenda against him, relegated to 25th on your list.
Yeah.
There's no consistency. You are saying that someone outside the top 5 leagues never has a fucking trying chance to win the Ballon d'Or in his life.
I'm just looking at Porto. In Porto, in 2 games, he had 1 goal, no assists. So let me check Benfica
Just look up Gyökeres versus Big Six.
Listen, here, this is how I see it. I think he's just 1 step ahead of Haaland in my rankings. I put Gyökeres 20th and Haaland 21 because he did great for Sporting. He won the league and he fucking scored 54 goals, which is pretty fucking good.
Ridiculous. What would a striker firms have to do to win the Ballon d'Or from the Portuguese league?
honestly, like
you're touching like
Didn't score
91
against
goals,
Benfica in the league.
kind of thing.
What would he have to do?
A lot.
it's tough.
There's
tough.
a reason why the goal coefficient for Golden
Yeah.
Boot, they put it less.
And he fucking won that. And he still
No,
won.
he didn't.
didn't win.
Mbappe won it.
Okay, well, that
was
was
close,
down
though.
to the
It was
last match week then.
It was close. But listen, I had him at the 18 spot. I took that into account, that it was the Portuguese league. Not saying that he doesn't deserve to be in that list, but I think you have to kind of like take it with a little bit of
Not all goals are worth the same. Like goals in the Portuguese league are not worth the same as Guirassy's goals in the Bundesliga.
How many
They're
goals
not
did
worth the
Jokic
same.
score in the Champions League?
Yeah, I'm curious.
Not as many as Guirassy.
Well, we know about didn't he score a hat trick against Man City?
Yeah,
Yeah.
when Simpson Pussy was playing, but yeah,
It's still a hat trick.
okay, still a hat trick.
So let us know in the comments down below where you would put Victor Gyökeres, because I do think a lot of people would have differing opinions. But boys, we're on to the next player that will round out the 20. We're headed back to Liverpool, boys. Let's see who it is. Virgil van Dijk continued to be Liverpool's defensive rock with 37 Premier League appearances and 14 clean sheets. He also chipped in with 3 goals and 1 assist, but his leadership at the back, aerial dominance, and consistency in big matches helped stabilize the defense throughout the campaign.
He's around there for me. He's 17th.
It's kind of crazy, bro. I have a lot of names below this.
Well, listen, it's kind of what we said. It averaged out to 19, so very close to what the standing believes.
Do you guys have any outliers? I still have a guy at 26.
I have a 22.
I have a guy at 27.
Oh yeah, and 24. And I think I know that guy.
For Van Dijk, I think it was a very, to me, like obviously he won the Prem, so you have to take that into account. And yes, that does go into his trophy cabinet. But like Van Dijk in terms of impact last year was not on the same level as, let's say, a Declan Rice for me. Like I had Declan Rice. I had Declan Rice slightly above Van Dijk, but Van Dijk and Konate for me had arguably the same season last year, but just one has higher rep.
I put Van Dijk one spot above Declan Rice because I favor winners.
Yeah, but it's also the intangibles. You know that statistically, black and white, you could say Konate and Van Dijk had similar seasons, but you know in that locker room, Van Dijk is a much more important presence in that locker room. And I think people take that into account. You're not going to see a role player getting a top 10 Ballon d'Or shout, even regardless of the season.
We did with Jorginho, but yeah.
But Jorginho was...
Well, no, he was integral for
He was integral
all
for
teams.
Italy too. I think
Yeah,
Italy and
he
even
was the leader.
Chelsea, to be honest.
I don't think that's a good example, but again, Van Dijk proves himself to be that leader and that captain.
Yeah.
He's an all-timer center back. So like you obviously do. He did get robbed of that Ballon d'Or that one year when Messi won. To be honest,
close.
I'm not gonna cap. That's one of those things that like if that season you can't win center back Ballon d'Or, when's the next center back Ballon d'Or gonna be handed out? Because that was as good as you could possibly be. To be honest.
But now, if he had that season last season, he would have won the Ballon d'Or this season.
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't know if that Messi season justified. I think Messi went trophyless that season, if I'm not mistaken. So it's kind of crazy
Van
that.
Dijk won the
Holy
double.
propaganda.
Huh?
Won a double,
Van Dijk, they won Champions League that year also. They won Champions League.
Did they win? Did they win the
And he
Prem?
didn't get dribbled by all season. I know it's a kind of a fake stat because he Bluetooth defends, but still, like, he was insane. But yeah, 22 is all right. We had him 22?
No.
We have him 20.
Okay, I had him 22, so whatever.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, though, it's you can't say it's name tags because he was the best center back in the world last season. Like, he just was. And he showed it for Liverpool. And in Champions League, they got knocked out in the penalties.
You don't want to hear, but Gabriel was better than Van
I
Dijk
think
last
it's
season.
I think it's kind of crazy that someone like Patro didn't make this contention list.
Oh, thank God, because then the Ballon d'Or cooked.
No, Patro's very good.
So boys, we are now on to the 19th spot in our Ballon d'Or rankings. And with an average of 18.75, gentlemen, we are headed back to Bayern Munich. Michael Olise exploded on his debut at Bayern Munich, becoming a match winner week after week at the Bavarian outfit. He impressed with dazzling dribbles, clever runs, and a knack for both scoring and creating. He finished the year with 40 goal contributions in 55 appearances, earning Bayern's Player of the Season award as they reclaimed the Bundesliga title. His consistency, flair, and ability to change games made him the missing spark in Munich's attack.
Thank God, bro. That's my 26.
Yeah, that's crazy. I saw that on his list. I didn't want to
Thank
bring it up, but
God.
that's
26,
fucking
bro.
crazy.
That's kind of nuts.
That's
Why
brutal.
You guys don't rate fucking. You guys won't rate a guy from. You guys won't rate a guy like Guirassy for his goals and shit in Bundesliga. But Olise, just because you like him, you will. The bias, the
but
double
mine
standards are
makes
crazy.
sense.
reasoning.
The
Mine
double
makes
standards
sense.
are crazy.
Yeah, again, Bundesliga winner, one of the best players in the Champions League.
Voted Bayern player of the season, by the way, over Harry Kane. Yeah.
Bayern fans will tell you that he was the most creative player. Like, the Musiala injury at the end of the day was kind of shifted to the side, and they
mitigated.
said, it was mitigated. Olise came up, and to be the first season, his rookie season, he won rookie of the player of the what is it called?
Well, it's whatever. That's whatever because they only give that to players.
Still, like, that's impressive. Like, he did good in Bundesliga and even Champions League. He was a threat for any team.
I just think that standards, if Vinicius did that last season for Bayern, he would not get bonus points. He would not get Mickey Mouse yippee points. Bro, you guys are only doing this shit because it was his first season and he was rookie and he was
against Inter. It wasn't like, Harry Kane.
Threat.
It was Olise. Yeah. So I think, look, I think 26 is a bit crazy, but honestly, where he ended up, I think is kind of...
Where'd you guys put him?
I had him 15.
Yeah, I had him 15 too.
I had him 19, so exactly where he landed.
Yeah.
I had him 19.
I don't think it's that crazy of a ranking, to be honest, but
like,
just 26 is insane.
If he has the same season this season, in the Ballon d'Or, you probably won't get nominated.
Probably still be around. No. Olise, bro, you're not there saying what did Olise do.
Name and expectations change so much for Ballon d'Or.
You're acting like Olise had a regular season, which is fucking crazy.
He had an amazing season.
He's a top 5 right wing in the world, like, clear.
All right, boys, on to the 18th spot. We will now be talking about a quadruple winner, one of PSG's best. Let's see who it is. Fabian Ruiz arguably enjoyed his best season ever at PSG. Blending controlled passing, positional intelligence, and timely attacking contributions, he put up 9 goal involvements in 30 Ligue 1 appearances and played a key role in pushing PSG deep in Europe, including a big volley in the Champions League semi-final versus Arsenal.
Like, for me, having Ruiz over Olise is kind of a bit crazy, and I'm a massive Fabian Ruiz glazer.
I kind of agree.
I'm a Ruiz hater.
Because I think
I'm a glazer. You know.
Yeah, Millie's a glazer.
One of my favorite players.
I think the issue with Fabian Ruiz is that obviously he had an amazing season. Like, he deserves to be in the top 30, but it's the PSG winning all the trophies thing, and obviously
he was arguably in games. He was one of the best midfielders.
Yes, against Arsenal, he was amazing.
Well,
he was
scored
never
that
the best
banger of a goal.
midfielder. He was never even the second best midfielder.
Bro, arguably he was the best midfielder some games in Champions League for PSG. Some games, bro, that's the level of how underrated he is. If Fabian Ruiz was 21 instead, we'd be saying, oh my God, this is like
I think he's perfectly rated now. Everybody kind of rates him as integral for that PSG team. But again, Vitinha, João Neves, they were integral as well. That PSG team is so stacked, we can't
He's the
put
most replaceable
in
player on PSG.
No.
Find me another one out of that starting 11.
He was not flashy. He was just not flashy, but this guy was so effective. I loved him in this PSG team.
But sure, who's more replaceable than on that starting 11?
Donnarumma. You can talk about replaceability, whatever. The only players that can replace him, if you bring them in, they're costing 100 mil.
Fabian Ruiz just happened to be on the right team at the right time. That's the only reason why
he was a good player in Serie A when he was at Napoli.
I don't disagree with him, but that's just... If Fabian Ruiz is an amazing, that doesn't take away from him being an amazing player.
Vitinha and João Neves, in my opinion, that was the wonder of that midfield.
But there's a reason why they're higher ranked.
This is like borderline, not even supporting cast. This is just a player that was on the team.
So we just watched one of the best all-time teams. That's like us saying.
You're calling PSG last season one of the best all-time teams.
Yes, that's like saying when Barca won the quintuple, it's like saying, well, Busquets was the worst player in that midfield. Bro, it's fucking Busquets. I don't care.
Top 3 midfielder, and the other 2 are on the same team.
Notice how I didn't say that he was the worst. He was the worst of the 3.
Xavi's the most replaceable player in that Barcelona midfield. But that sounds so stupid.
But he was irreplaceable. This guy is replaceable. You can find other Fabian Ruiz replacements.
It would cost 100 mil.
No.
All right, boys, I'm sure that will not be the last PSG player we talk about today. The next player, though, gentlemen, we are headed back to Serie A, and we're talking about the MVP. Let's see who it is. Scott McTominay made a statement in his first season at Napoli, becoming the cornerstone in that Scudetto winning side. He scored 12 goals and laid on 4 assists in 34 Serie A matches, earning himself the Serie A Player of the Season award. Beyond the numbers, he showed leadership, work rate, and clutch moments, quick to step up when the pressure was on.
God damn, who put him high?
Face of your league, by the way.
I put him 16th. I think what he did for Napoli, he was integral for that Scudetto win, and nobody had Napoli winning the Scudetto. So him winning the Scudetto for Napoli as the top scorer and gets MVP for Serie A, it's a very good achievement for someone who we wrote off a year ago.
In his first season.
As well.
And considering where he was coming from and the perception of McTominay beforehand.
But notice how we're talking about prior information.
Like,
it's not about...
But that's the storyline.
Sorry. I just have to bring this up as a Serie A outsider. I think there's a bit of Serie A bias here having someone like... And I understand that there's a lot of like, oh, Napoli won Serie A as underdogs type adding in here, but having someone like McTominay above an Olise is a bit crazy to me.
But it's because of the way that McTominay dragged his team. Like Napoli did not have a good season, and yet McTominay was always there for a crucial goal. And
bicycle kick on the final day.
Exactly. Like Napoli ended up winning the Scudetto because of him.
There's a bit of nostalgia to it that like, oh, he's Napoli won Serie A, but I don't know if that should go into your voting.
Where did you put him?
I put him 19. I had him around here. It's just I think that Olise was kind of underrated.
Hala had him at 21. Firms had him at 16. I had him at 17. Average of 18.25 puts him in 17th.
However, I had Olise on top of McTominay. I have Olise 15th and McTominay 16th. So they're around the same area.
As long as he's higher than Martinez, I'm okay.
Agreed.
Well, he did more than Martinez last year.
He deserves it. He deserves to be higher. And at Serie A MVP is, listen, they're considering everything that came with him and the expectations. Like, I think he definitely deserves to be on this list.
Yeah.
Odds of Haaland being on this list next year.
I hope not. I don't think it's zero.
Clipped.
So the Serie A MVP will be 17th on our combined Ballon d'Or rankings. The next player, though, made his mark last season. He did play at PSG, though. Let's talk about him. Désiré Doué made the jump from Rennes to PSG and immediately bursted onto the scene. He scored 15 goals across all competitions, starred in big matches, most notably in the Champions League final with a goal and an assist, plus a man-of-the-match performance as PSG won their first ever European Cup. He also earned the Liga Young Player of the Year and Champions League Young Player of the Season awards.
Okay, this is a bit low, and I'm not on the Désiré Doué hype train, but this is a bit low.
I'm on the hype train.
What number are we at?
This is 16.
I had him at 16.
13.
I had him at 16 as well.
I had him 22, so I probably lowered the thing. But I just think he had some good performances, and he's honestly one of the best up-and-coming talents. But at the end of the day, it's a Fabian Ruiz situation where he's not the best in that front three, and it's hard to judge him as that.
Firms, I'm actually very proud of you. I'm very surprised that you, didn't overrate Doué.
I love him. I think he had an amazing
what
season.
you said. 20. You said 22.
Yeah, 22.
That is. It's not crazy. It's not crazy because the common like if you go on TikTok and Instagram, there's all the comps, everything. That's definitely boosting his stock value in the public's eyes. But bro, this guy had what, 6 goals?
Bro, this guy was man. Yeah, but this guy was man of the match in the CL final.
He didn't exist for half a season.
I agree. The first half of the season, he was practically like a ghost.
But that mattered.
I think
second half of the season,
he was also a bench warmer. Like he wasn't starting. Then he gained his starting spot.
Do you think it's a coincidence that as soon as he started picking up his level, that's when PSG started becoming that all-time level?
But Cavara also came in.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
like, there's a lot of facets.
There's a bunch of factors, but I think Doué, by the end of last season, you were kind of PSG weren't even looking towards them. Like, I don't know, this is kind of weird to say, but I feel like he became like the face of the team towards the end of the season where you were looking at him.
No, I think Dembele always...
Yes,
I don't know.
Yeah, but we were looking at him. But I don't know. That doesn't matter because Luis Enrique.
When PSG needed something to happen, you were looking at Doué. You weren't looking at Dembele. You weren't looking at. You were looking at Doué.
Yeah, but you're also looking at Cavara. You're also
no.
Yes.
I don't know. For me, towards the end of the season, it was Doué show.
It was a new baller. Like you're like you Doué gets the ball and you're like, what is he gonna do? Yeah, and for a couple of games, bro, he did what you wanted.
And that effect, you don't see that in goals and assists, but you that effect needs to be. It's like Neymar. Like Neymar. Goals and assists wise, he was still levels above. But like goals and assists wise, it's comparable to Mbappe. But like Neymar, you watched him and you were like, oh, what's he gonna do next?
It was kind of like you as soon as Doué got the ball, you sat at the edge of your seat. You're like, oh, what are you gonna do? But I got the same feeling from like on Olise.
Cavara.
From Cavara was more of like direct. Like he didn't have as much of like he was very precise. He was very agile, but Doué had that flair to him. He was just a bit more creative, I find, than Cavara. But overall, both had fantastic seasons.
Yeah.
Doué, though, definitely got some more prop near the end. Can you say that this is a little high for him? Sure, I'm sure there's a debate. But he averaged at a 16.75, which puts him overall at the 16.
I could argue if his Ligue 1 stats were better, he would probably be even higher than
if he had a full season. Bro, Ballon d'Or's a whole year. If you're not performing, it's like Saka. Why isn't Saka on this list? Well, because he got injured for a majority of the season.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but those games are more important near the end. That's where everyone's watching. That's where the silverware is won. And that's where he showed up. I'm
okay with having a list loaded of PSG players because, like it or not, this was a team that is an all-time team. This is an all-timer team.
I don't
they had no liabilities at the end of the day.
It's an all-timer team. They won every single competition they were in, practically. If they lost the Club World Cup in the final.
The Club World Cup I value it
Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up before you say something stupid.
I value it more than the Coupe de France and what else is in their quadruple?
The Ligue 1 is harder to win. Maybe not harder
No, the
to
Ligue
win.
1 is harder.
The Ligue 1 is harder to win just because it's 38 games of you need to be good.
You know that playing Chelsea is harder than fucking playing everyone in Ligue 1.
Paolo, it's funny that you mentioned Chelsea because there's one player up next that we will be talking about that plays for the Blues. Let's see who it is. Cole Palmer built on his breakout year, proving that he was not a one-season wonder. He once again was the driving force in Chelsea's attack with goals, assists, and clutch moments. He delivered 15 goals and 8 assists in 37 league games, cementing himself as the team's creative focal point and one of the Premier League's most feared young attackers. His year was capped off on the global stage, where he was named MVP of the FIFA Club World Cup, underlining his rise as Chelsea's talisman.
Bro, how did this happen?
I put him very low.
You put him low?
Very, very low.
I think it got better
Did
at
you
the
put
end
him
of the
below
season.
23?
I hope you kept those jabs, fellas.
He's not below 23.
I put him 27.
That's so low. That's too low.
I think Millie put 0 emphasis on Club World Cup.
Probably, yeah.
But why?
Because at the end of the day, that wasn't necessarily a competition that I think a lot of people will say that was a premier competition.
Yeah, but forget that. They still beat PSG.
Yes, a PSG that played
Hadn't
the
lost.
maximum amount of games that they could possibly play in a season. Chelsea, you're telling me Cole
I don't
Palmer
care,
played
like-
a full 50 games?
No, but
at
he won
100%?
Conference League. He won.
Conference League. We know
got
that
top
was the
four
whole
with
beat.
Chelsea.
The
He
whole
literally
way.
made it for winning fucking Conference League.
That was
See,
the
I had a
whole
slip
team.
up.
That was the whole
Pal
beat.
FC blip in the radar.
10th?
I made myself.
him 9.
I made myself.
I cannot justify a top 10.
Bro, he was the
Palmer.
he was the 10th best. I made a very I said what I said my parameters for the Ballon d'Or ranking, and Palmer just fell into 10.
I can't justify.
Bro, he was
putting
better
a
than
player
all
that
these.
was in conference.
I put him above Gyökeres.
He won Conference
He
League.
was
who?
better than Gyökeres
Brother,
last season.
I get it, but you know that the Conference League compared to what Chelsea is not the same
I
level.
understand, but individually, you have to look at it.
No, but I'm not
Palmer-
sitting here
you know
saying
that doesn't mean shit.
Yes.
I'm not saying it. Okay, but if he lost that tournament, then it would mean everything.
That's how Conference League works.
No,
Because
that's
you
not.
are the
because he
advocate
should have
for
won
saying that.
regardless.
I somewhat but you're not gonna not even bring up Conference
You
League.
were saying that for
I'm not
Europa.
sitting here saying my whole defense rests on Palmer winning Conference League.
Yes, because the other people in and around this list are talking about Champions League leagues, other titles.
But in the league, Cole Palmer was a very formidable force last year in the Premier League, and he won Club World Cup, being the MVP of the
But
tournament.
to me, formidable force doesn't mean you get top 10. That's not
In the Prem, yes, it is. Sorry,
But he was not very consistent.
he was.
He wasn't that.
No,
No,
at
he
the
was
beginning
not
of the
that
season,
good.
he
Cole
wasn't.
Palmer-
But once
Cole
again,
Palmer
you're
was the whole bitch.
saying, okay, are we looking at purely goals and assists here?
no,
or
just in
Okay,
general.
We watched the
Come
games.
on.
He ghosted.
But he
big
picked
games.
back
He
up.
did not
picked back
ghost
up.
a lot of games.
We watched. He ghosted in big games.
No, he didn't.
Towards the end of the season, the consistency
I
went up a
completely
bit.
disagree.
And to me,
You're
those
lying.
are the games that are unfortunately weighed more for Cole Palmer because he's not playing Champions League quarterfinals, semifinals. He's not. He wasn't.
But
That's
he
a good
won
point.
MVP of the Club World Cup.
I understand, but for me, I don't think a lot of teams took that tournament seriously.
No, just because
really
Inter
don't.
didn't doesn't mean it.
Manchester City, you think that Al Hilal performance was a really
Manchester City took
indicative?
that performance, not that performance serious. They took the tournament serious. They just lost.
Okay, so they took it. I'm sure every team took it seriously, but then they just lost.
Yes.
Man City took it seriously. Chelsea took it seriously because Man City needed to recover.
Bro, I'm sorry.
recoup
Every
something.
club in that tournament took it serious. I don't give a fuck.
I don't think PSG give a shit.
Boys, we are now into the top 15, but in the 14th spot, we have a Barcelona marksman. Let us know down below what you think about this ranking. Let's see the player. Robert Lewandowski continued to defy age at Barcelona, scoring 27 La Liga goals in 34 appearances. With important strikes in the Champions League and domestic cups, he ended up as Barcelona's season's top scorer with 42 goals in all competitions and was a key factor in them securing a domestic double under Hansi Flick's first full season.
Bro, I was fucking waiting for the Lewandowski.
What number are we at?
14.
14. I think I put him 14 exactly, actually.
16.
I put him 28.
28 is stupid.
No, I didn't.
No, you put
Millie
him
okay.
probably
You
put
got
him.
me.
I put him 12.
Bro, he deserves to be
What did you
20.
put him?
20.
20.
Oh,
my
I thought you
God.
actually put him 28. I didn't hear that second
He
part.
put him 20.
When?
Yeah.
Brother, you're on a team with Lamine Yamal, Rafinha. You're on a team with two of the top 3 guys in the Ballon d'Or.
He gets bumped
if,
up.
If that was Ferran Torres playing the entire season as that number 9, I feel like he would actually have similar stats to Lewandowski.
And the
No,
thing
not 42 goals.
Yeah, no, he wouldn't score 42, but you'd see a 25 probably.
You would see, yeah, okay, maybe not 42,
Yeah,
but you
sure.
see 30.
But I think with Lewandowski, especially in the bigger games, he made a lot of mistakes. Like there was a lot of times where he whiffed on the ball, or like it was a clear opportunity to score and it just didn't go in. So I think a lot of those moments are kind of taken into consideration. But at the end of the day, he 42 goals for a Barcelona side.
All I can look at is your goals for Lewandowski. That's the only thing I can look at because Barca fans were not jumping for joy when Lewandowski had the ball. They were like, bro, like this guy's frustrating.
And
it's frustrating.
The thing is that you're still coming out of the season that you're like, oh, if Barcelona had money, I would go and get a center back, a striker, and a midfielder. So you're like, okay, so yeah, he's top 15 in Ballon d'Or, but you're still putting that as a position of potential need, you know?
But at the end of the day, he's like one of those players that even with a bad performance, maybe he hasn't been linking up well with the other players, he gets a goal. Yep. So it depends how much importance you put on that. But in a flick system where goals matter,
the Giroud type category.
I mean, shit, Lewandowski's better.
Not in the Giroud tier, but he's in the Giroud category of strikers that just consistently get you goals, but they're not winning you games.
Yeah, it's just the amount of goals that Lewandowski gets you every year is a guarantee. Like, I think it's normal for him to be in this place.
All right, boys, the next player, we are headed back to PSG. You're going to be hearing me say that a lot this video. Boys, let's see the player. Nuno Mendes continued to grow as one of the most dynamic left backs in Ligue 1 for PSG. He put in strong defensive work, tackles, recoveries, fewer errors, while also contributing going forward, combining speed, overlapping runs, and steady support in attack. His consistency helped stabilize PSG's backline in crucial moments.
I had him at 13.
I think that's quite low.
I think there's a lot of PSG players that should be named before Nuno Mendes. I
put him 22.
We're talking about the best left back in the world last season, not the best fullback. Well, listen,
the fact that he was so good makes it no competition.
Yeah, it's not even about the competition. He locked up Salah. He locked up Saka.
I don't even have a name.
He locked up Salah. He locked up Salah. He locked up Saka. He even had the Nations League to his name because he played for Portugal, and where he locked up Yamal. So this guy was clearly the best left back in the world, and I have him way higher. I have him 9th.
I don't think that's that crazy for him.
It's not crazy. I had all the PSG players. Like I had 3 PSG players in a row. Like
Millie, where'd you put Nuno Mendes?
I said 22. I put him lower. I don't know why that's a problem.
22?
Yeah.
So you had Fabian Ruiz higher than Nuno Mendes?
Yeah.
No.
You had McTominay higher than Nuno Mendes?
Well, we all watched the same game, so...
You had Lautaro one spot above Nuno Mendes.
We saw...
lower.
Millie, you're telling me in that Liverpool performance where Salah was an absolute ghost, you're not crediting it to Nuno Mendes?
You could credit, sure, but I'm not giving 100% credit to Nuno Mendes.
You had Haaland above Nuno Mendes?
Yeah.
What the Barnak?
Is there a problem here? You want to take this outside?
There's a fucking problem here.
There's no problem. I don't see a problem because at the end of the day, where you guys put him, that's where he landed.
Yeah, that's where we put him.
Yeah.
That's where my logical self...
Thank God I put him 9.
Put it.
No, I think 22 is fair.
Millie, this is a head scratcher. But
quadruple winner plus Nations League winner. Crucial.
Best player in the world in his position by far.
But okay, best player in his position, sure. But again, that whole PSG team, I think that he's not necessarily in that top 5.
I think
this is different.
I think it was 5.
I don't think so.
4 or
I
5.
think so too. But this is different from Fabian Ruiz because Fabian Ruiz, he was a 5th, maybe 6th or whatever. But in the grand world scheme, he's not the best midfielder. He's not the best in his position.
There's no PSG last season without Nuno Mendes.
No, that's not true.
That is,
bro. Defensively,
I'm not saying that's not true, but I'm saying it's a hypothetical scenario, but you can't deny his importance to that team.
I agree.
It's not like you can just take him out and the PSG is still the same. You know?
I understand, but again, it's. Anyways,
because I'm an OG of the game. Because I'm an OG of the game, I'm gonna lay some foundations out for you. How the fuck is Donnarumma not being named yet, but Nuno Mendes has? You know,
Donnarumma deserves to be higher.
No.
Yes.
Same situation.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Donnarumma missed half of the season. I hope you remember that.
And then when he shows up,
this guy got benched for Safronov.
That too.
He also showed up in the biggest game.
Nuno
the biggest
did.
games he did.
Nuno
Bro,
did more.
I don't understand
Nuno Mendes showed up every big game.
Yeah.
Bro, no, you understand that in a penalty shootout versus Liverpool, you have Salah, you have all those players, and you are one-on-one. No one
Why
else
did
is there to
Salah
help
not
you.
score? Why are we even in a penalty shootout at this point, to be honest?
No one is there to help you. You are on your own as a goalkeeper. And he decided to show up. And he
then
did
they
that throughout the
decided
rest of
to
the
sell
season.
him.
But that's a Luis Enrique problem. That's on an individual
We
player.
talked about the Nuno penitentiary all last season. Because every winger...
You were the only motherfucker that brought that up every 2 seconds.
Good, because it worked out at the end of the day because every winger that played against him was locked up by him. So
Was DiMarco on the Ballon d'Or nominee list 2 seasons ago?
Yes, he was.
Or like last season?
Not last season, the year before.
Millie probably had him higher than 22. I would be curious.
I'm gonna go check
Let
it
us know,
after.
guys.
Boys, you think we're done talking about PSG? We are not. We have a string of PSG dons. But the next one, boys, a Portuguese maestro. Let's talk about him. João Neves broke into PSG's midfield with maturity well beyond his age, making 29 Liga appearances and showing to be a trusted option for Luis Enrique. He added 3 goals, but more importantly, impressed with his composure in possession, sharp passing, and tactical awareness. Still just a teenager, he's quickly establishing himself as one of PSG's most exciting long-term projects.
How has Donnarumma not been
fair.
named yet?
That's fair.
How?
He's 12th, and we all put him 14th, except for him, he put him 12th.
Yeah, he had a good season.
Do we even need to talk about João
Pivotal.
Neves?
Like
We
João
talked about
Neves,
PSG so much, bro. João Neves was just a fucking...
honestly, he looks even better this season than last season.
Yes.
So far.
Yeah.
Like he looks like this season he's taking the fucking team by the
He
balls.
scored the
and-
hat trick there.
Bro,
Like-
aside from that fucking hat trick, you're just talking about the hat trick.
No,
Let's be real here.
But I watched a couple comps of him so far this season. They pop up on my Twitter feed. You're
How about
like,
you watch the actual games?
Let me peep. Yeah, no, but João Neves, this is a bit of PSG tax. I had like all the PSG players kind of like plumped
Yeah,
up together
yeah.
in this range. So
And it's not about trophies. At the end of the day, like they had amazing seasons individually. And João Neves is part of that Portuguese team that also won Nations League.
Because when you're playing versus Liverpool, it doesn't matter what team is on your chest. When Salah's running at you, you're still Salah
Exactly.
running at you.
So, boys, we are getting close to those top 10 Ballon d'Or rankings, but we still have one more player in between that in the 11th position. Another PSG player. Let's see it. Kavika Kvaratskhelia started the season on fire for Napoli in Serie A, leading them to the top of the table in January before making a move to PSG. His dribbling and attacking flair was exactly what PSG was looking for, and he helped them cruise to a Liga title and scored in the Champions League final as the Parisiens finally lifted their first European Cup. Across both clubs, he finished with around 13 goals and 10 assists, cementing himself as one of Europe's most decisive wingers.
I had Cavada 13th.
Item 15.
I'm
The-
gonna keep
I had him
freaking out.
13.
What?
Over all these PSG players that are not being named, that are being named ahead of Donnarumma,
Like
is insane.
I see why you would say that, but Donnarumma in the big games where he was literally 1v1 in penalty shootouts, he came up.
and
Yeah.
Cavada did the same, so I really don't understand. And Cavada,
not
first half
really.
of the season, was leading Napoli to a title.
Yeah, he was.
How many goals did Donnarumma concede in PSG in Ligue 1 last season?
Club World Cup, he had 5 clean sheets.
He was good in CL, but Ligue 1, he was very disappointing.
Yeah. At the end of the day, like Donnarumma, when you need him in penalty shootouts, he's there. So
Yeah, but
that's why he's so high.
That's an intangible.
Yeah, exactly.
But I do feel like Cavada, every single game, and I'm a big Cavada. I was a Cavada doubter when he showed up to PSG, but I feel like every single game you were like, oh, is Cavada gonna do it today? And he ended up being amazing. Like even everybody who watched was like, wow, Cavada.
No, but
he's insane.
Donnarumma can't bomb up the wing and fucking swing it across
Yes,
the belly.
but
he can save a penalty shot.
Yes, sure, but also in Ligue 1 he was quite under 4 clean sheets in 24 games. Are you being serious, guys? That's fucking underwhelming for a PSG keeper.
And in CL he had 6
But
clean sheets.
it's the big moments that matter.
Yeah.
Like if it's 3 games where you save
They
your
won the
team
league.
from something, like at the end of the
PSG just
day,
scored
yeah.
more goals than everyone else in the league.
Yeah.
Bro, I want my goalie to be there when it really matters.
At the end of the day, I have João Neves, Donnarumma, and Cavada literally 11th, 12th, 13th.
Yeah.
So it's really up to the big moments there.
But I think it's time now to talk about the man that we have been mentioning, gentlemen, in the 10th spot, starting our top 10. Let's see who it is. Gianluigi Donnarumma had a season of strong performances between the posts for PSG, especially in European competition. He kept 6 clean sheets in 15 Champions League appearances, conceded only 14 goals while making 36 saves before moving to Manchester City with high expectations on building on that CL form.
Yeah.
I'm at 9.
I had him 11th.
17.
Like, that's low. That's stupid
crazy.
and that's low.
No, don't try and pull this gimmick on me now.
Why?
Because I didn't put
That is-
fucking 9th place in 27. I put
Why?
10th and 17th. That's not that
And
crazy.
I put 10th and 6th. So
And
which
I
one's
just
crazier?
out of all these PSG, I have Cavada, Mendes, Doué, Neves all next to each other. I just had Donnarumma underneath all.
Donnarumma.
That's fine. I mean,
Call
that's
them
fine.
a slander name, Donnarumma.
Donnarumma.
Personal choice. I think that he was a top 10 player in the league last season, in Europe last
I
season.
agree.
Top 10 player?
I think PSG fans,
Ballon
look,
d'Or ranking, yeah.
PSG fans in our comments, let us know how you guys would have ranked Cavada, Mendes, Doué, Neves, and Donnarumma last year on terms of like
That-
what
that
you
I
guys
wanna
think.
see.
Okay, but
That I
that's a
wanna see.
PSG. We're talking about Ballon d'Or ranking. Like,
Yeah,
But
it's
a
about
PSG fan
individual
would know in their Ligue 1 performances, their Coupe de France performances. Maybe Donnarumma was dropping shitter after shitter in Ligue 1, but Champions League he would go and fucking drop insane performances.
And you're going to ask PSG fans, what would you prefer? Donnarumma being shit in the league or shit in Champions League?
But all these players above him, Cavada, Mendes, Doué, Neves, were insane every Champions League game as well. So I'm curious to see.
Okay, well, we'll see. We'll see. I don't know. I think Donnarumma did enough to win at least 1 or 2 trophies in that quadruple.
Like, I would be interested to see also historically which goalkeepers have made top 10 in Ballon d'Or in specific seasons. But Alisson, you see, that year was the best goalkeeper in the Prem and the best goalkeeper in the Champions League. Best goalkeeper in every competition he played in, practically. I don't know if Donnarumma had a season of that caliber, to be honest. My personal opinion.
Go let us know down below. But boys, we are now into the top 10. And in the 9th spot, we are headed to Bavaria, boys. Let's see who we're going to be talking about. Harry Kane tore through the Bundesliga with Bayern Munich, scoring 26 goals and becoming the top scorer in the Bundesliga for the 2nd season in a row. Lifting the 2024-25 Bundesliga title as well, he piled up 41 goals in all competitions and notched strong assist numbers, reinforcing his status as one of Europe's deadliest finishers.
Kane 11, I mean, it's not crazy.
I had him 10th.
I had him 10th as well.
8.
Scored so many goals.
Deserved.
And got his Bundesliga trophy at the end of the day.
Not Gyökeres. Well, also Gyökeres. Guirassy, Harry Kane.
Well, you see the difference.
Bundesliga goals. Some get valued more, some get valued less.
I had Guirassy at 18, Kane at 8, but because of that trophy, that's what differentiates Kane and Guirassy. But Kane also scored more than Guirassy in the Bundesliga, I think, by a decent chunk, if I'm not mistaken.
Not a decent chunk, bro. Impossible.
I will confirm these stats.
Unless Harry Kane scored 45
Kane
goals.
had 38 all comps. And Guirassy, I believe, had 34.
Bundesliga scored 26.
Guirassy scored
24, if I'm not mistaken, but let me check.
No.
Guirassy scored 21. So 5 goal difference is a decent chunk. Like, that's not one game, you know?
Yeah, it's playing versus Olise versus playing with Adeyemi.
Yeah, that's a decent argument, but once again, you still have to put respect on Harry Kane. He ended up with the trophy.
No, I agree. I had Guirassy at 19 and I had Harry Kane at 11, but it's just something to point out.
Harry Kane deservedly in the top 10 Ballon d'Or rankings. Boys, the next player, we're headed to Barcelona, one of their midfield dons. Let's talk about it. Pedri quietly re-cemented himself as Barcelona's midfield compass under Hansi Flick, enjoying one of his most injury-free seasons in years. Always among the most trusted players, he combined tight control, intelligent movement, and tireless defensive work to keep Barca ticking. His influence was central as the club lifted both La Liga and the Copa del Rey, reminding everyone why he's seen as the heartbeat of this new era.
I had Pedri at 8, that's fair.
I had him at 8 as well. This guy was the best midfielder in the world for the entirety of the season. But obviously, like, when it comes to trophies, I'm
gonna step up for the people like it's kind of like when you see someone doing something stupid in public. Like, you just let them do it and you judge in your head, but we don't say anything. I'm actually going to step up for the people who are going to say something. Pedri was not the best midfielder in the world last season.
I agree.
He was very good, but we can't just let people say Pedri was undoubtedly the best midfielder in the world last season without a debate.
You see how he puts words in your mouth? I never said undoubtedly. I just said he was definitely the best.
So definitely, undoubtedly, there's a synonym.
Well, in terms of, like, okay, sure, he was the best midfielder in the world. Take out the fucking synonym, it's the same shit. It's Vitinha and Pedri. Last year, it was them
Palmer
two.
higher rated than Pedri.
See, now let's point out the stupid people over here, because I'm gonna be stepping up for the ones that are stupid.
I know.
Putting Palmer over Pedri last year.
I'm putting my chest out
I'm putting my fucking chest out too.
I'm dropping my fucking balls on the table
bro, put
by
them
saying
somewhere
that.
else though. Fuck.
Fucking massive balls.
Holy shit. Pedri.
I had
Just
him
don't
10.
look at stats. This guy had some masterclass performance.
Just don't look at the stats.
But why is Rice...
Hide that shit.
Why is Rice like double the spots below Pedri?
Because one won a domestic treble as one of the most integral players.
Holy shit, ChatGPT over here.
Wow.
No. It is. Well, first of all, you want a double, but it is.
No, he won a domestic
That
treble.
was domestic trouble. They won the Super
Barca
Cup.
won a domestic
Real
treble.
Madrid. That was the first game.
Okay, who gives a shit about?
Yeah, who gives a shit? Just
And now we don't give a shit.
Supercopa.
Yeah, exactly.
The Spanish Supercopa.
Okay, so PSG, all those players, we should talk them
Doesn't
down.
matter.
Because they only won what, a double?
Trouble.
No, they only won a double.
No.
Because Ligue 1 and Champions
That's
Who
what I
League.
gives a
said.
shit about
And
that?
Coupe
I
de
Who gives a shit
France.
about the rest? No, we don't count that.
No, because that's a difference. The Super Cup is not the Coupe de France. The Copa del Rey is the Coupe de France.
They had their Cup of France though.
Oh, fuck. It's
Huh?
the same.
They did have their own
They
Super
won
Cup in there.
everything, bro. PSG won everything. No matter how the cookie crumbles, they won more
There's all
trophies.
these easy tournaments and Inter couldn't win any of them.
Yeah. But yeah, Pedri was obviously amazing last season. He was the heartbeat of the Barcelona team. But look, top players get goals and assists, and I don't know if I'm ever gonna.
I'm waiting for the next one.
I don't know if I'm ever going to put Pedri in a top 5 or 4. He got over 25 last season, but I don't know if I'm ever going to put Pedri in a top 5 of Ballon d'Or. I think Pedri's stuck in this 10 range of.
Somebody put him top 5.
I didn't.
Who?
Pedri. I put him 10.
8.
I'm always gonna have him in that 10 range.
I put him 11.
No, but if Pedri, even if Pedri,
11.
even if Pedri, no, but I'm saying,
what are you talking about?
If Pedri, even if he never develops that goals and assist genes, which this year it's actually looking promising. He's gotten goals and assists this year, but if he never develops that goals and assist gene, don't think I can ever move him up.
This guy used to be like.
Glazer?
No, Pedri's an all-time. Bro, I put him 10. All the players above him got goals and assists or were quadruple winners. So like, you're talking about Pedri's the best of the non-goals.
So one more trophy changes everything, I guess.
Well, bro, if Pedri starts getting goals and assists, you're talking about a potential Ballon d'Or winner here.
So boys, we're going from a Barcelona Don to a Real Madrid star in the 7th position. Boys, let's take a look at this Los Blancos Don. Kylian Mbappe had a blistering debut year for Real Madrid, finishing as the La Liga top scorer and the Real Madrid top scorer. Despite Madrid falling short of most trophies, his goal-scoring exploits were a rare bright spot in a season of underperformance.
This is where Pal FC starts cooking. I had Pedri 8 and Mbappe 7.
I had Mbappe 6th. I think people underrated his season. Just because Real Madrid did bad, this guy still scored 43 goals all comps. And it's like, oh, who cares?
Yeah. And unfortunately, I do think that in mine, I gave him 9. Like, he definitely deserved to be in a top 10 Ballon d'Or ranking. It's more just the goals led to not necessarily any trophies. I'm not saying that it's all his fault, but at the end of the day, Real Madrid didn't win anything.
But my problem with Real Madrid is that the goals were there. It's the defense that wasn't there. So like, you can't. Like Mbappe scored a hat trick.
We can't deny that we were watching CL games at some point and it was like Mbappe was a non-factor.
Oh, yeah.
Brother, Mbappe scored a hat trick against Man City.
Vinny and Mbappe were both non-factors.
You show up to a fucking dog park, whatever. Big dogs there, which is Vinicius Jr.
The fuck?
Both dogs are uncomfortable. Mbappe and Vinicius, they're uncomfortable.
What is that?
Vinicius been there, and he was the one that came out on the bottom. Mbappe came into that team and became the big dog in one season.
Bro, last year, Atletico Madrid, round of 16, didn't get a goal or assist. Whatever, that's fine. You go against that. Arsenal didn't get a goal or assist. Didn't get a goal or assist against Arsenal. So I don't know where this goal is. It was Rodrigo that scored, I think, or Vinicius.
The hat trick against Man City was crucial for Real Madrid.
Sure, but once again, last year, towards the tail end of the season,
he scored a hat trick against Man City in the playoffs.
Towards the tail end of the season, I had Mbappe 6.
He did. He scored a hat trick against Barcelona as well.
I rated his season and he lost. I rated
what do you expect him to do? Defend as well, like as a center back?
But I rated the season, but you can't deny towards the tail end of last season, we were watching the big games that Real Madrid were involved in, and you were saying, bro, Mbappe low-key did nothing today.
But that's a dysfunctional Real Madrid.
Yeah.
He still scored 43 goals.
It's the same thing with Bellingham. Bellingham was a top 3
Also, by the way, guys, remember what he said when he talks about Salah? Because Salah was a fucking ghost.
Yes, 100%.
But boys, we're not at that conversation just yet. We still have some more PSG Dons to go through in this top 10, gentlemen. In the 6th spot, we are talking about one of the midfield gems of last season. Vitinha was one of PSG's most standout midfielders of the 2024-25 season, solidifying himself as one of Europe's best midfielders. He stepped up with energy, creativity, and big game performances, and he's shown in the Champions League with 17 appearances, scoring twice and assisting twice, while consistently dictating play with his passing and movement. His influence in both domestic and European campaigns made him a driving force behind PSG's treble-winning season. His influence in both domestic and European campaigns made him a driving force behind PSG's quadruple season.
I can't believe Vitinha is above Hakimi. No, I can't believe Hakimi is above Vitinha.
He is. Should be.
Whatever. We'll
get to that.
Vitinha was amazing last season.
Vitinha was on par with Pedri. You could say a bit better because obviously you won more trophies and more important ones. But don't bring up stats. Like, why are you not bringing up stats now?
Because he won a quadruple and Pedri didn't.
So
yeah, but also
Vitinha won a 5-tuple.
No,
Nations League.
Nations League, Portugal. Well, I
he didn't win a 5-tuple. First of all, they didn't win Copa del Rey. They didn't win Champions League. They didn't win. Like, bro, stop speaking about this 5-tuple.
Copa del Rey.
First of all, they didn't win Copa del Rey.
Vitinha can't.
Oh, Vitinha did actually win a 5-tuple. Sorry, actually.
He did.
No, I thought you were talking about Pedri. Pedri did not win a fucking 5-tuple.
Whoa, you're still talking about Pedri?
Yeah.
But
a couple points behind.
No,
brother.
because Firm's bringing up Vitinha and Pedri. Vitinha had a better season than Pedri. It's undeniable.
And that's why he's above Pedri in my books.
Exactly. So I don't know why you're singling me out.
Because you spoke about stats being so important, but his stats
That's
are
why
similar to
Vitinha
Pedri.
is 7 on my list and Pedri is 10. I don't understand what we're singling out here. Vitinha is not a Ballon d'Or winner on my list.
No, but he's saying that you dropped Pedri.
Yes.
But you
Yeah,
didn't
but
drop
also-
Vitinha.
I did drop Vitinha. He's 7.
Being an integral part for a Champions League winning side, he deserves to be higher than Pedri right now.
Yes, and I haven't debated that. He is higher than Pedri in
I
my
put
list.
Vitinha 5. Where'd you guys put him?
I put him 5 as well.
7. And Pedri
7.
8.
So this should be a very easy conversation.
Yeah.
Yes,
it is.
I don't understand why he's singling me out.
No, because Varvars keep talking about stats and stats and stats, but at the end of the day, the stats here are the same.
Yeah, but one also won a Champions League.
Do you understand? Am I the only one that's like...
I'm pretty confused.
Because you, in my opinion, Pedri is a better player than Vitinha, okay? Got it?
This doesn't matter on the 24-25 shortlist, but yeah, go on.
But that's what you debated me about a couple of seconds ago. Was it not?
No.
Who's better, Vitinha or Pedri?
If I had a game tomorrow, I'm taking Pedri over Vitinha.
Okay, so we agree.
Yes.
But you weren't agreeing with me. Now, who had a better season, Vitinha or Pedri?
Vitinha.
Okay, so you agree with me. Why were we even debating in the first
last
place?
season, I would've taken-
Because for what Ferns was saying before when we were talking about Pedri is that he was the best midfielder in the world. Varvar says he wasn't actually clear-cut the best midfielder in the world. He was in that conversation. Vitinha was in there too.
Chad, are we confused right now?
So now I'm confused.
Just
Because you explained what I said perfectly.
Yes.
Pedri is the best midfielder in the world, but he didn't have the best season.
That's
in the
also
world.
debatable.
Yeah.
Because Bellingham could be in that conversation.
Sure.
Rodri could be in that conversation.
Sure.
So just saying Pedri's the best midfielder in the world, we can't say that.
But he was.
When?
But he is.
Boys, we're now into the top 5 of the Ballon d'Or rankings. Let's start with the number 5 spot. This is not the final, but one other PSG player. Let's talk about him. Achraf Hakimi was a key driver in PSG's historic quadruple season. Pushing forward from right back with flair, contributing several goals and assists, opening the scoring in the Champions League final in PSG's 5-0 win over Inter, and earning recognition as the Ligue 1 Team of the Season right back.
Hakimi had an all-timer for a right back, for a full back. I think it's tough to put him 5th because I think he deserves to be higher. But unfortunately, when the other ones exceeded like my expectations and everyone's expectations, 5th is fair.
Could
Very
this
fair.
be an argument? And I'm not saying it is. I think it's definitely in the conversation being the best right back season of all time.
I think it's up there.
27 goals and
Yeah.
assists from right back.
But effectiveness, like goals and
We
assists
don't
wise,
know.
I'm sure.
Bro, obviously
don't
there's probably a
know,
Dani
bro.
Alves season in there
What
somewhere.
about
at some
Carvajal?
point.
We put Carvajal like
I think
5 or 6.
Carvajal
I
was
think
great last season.
Carvajal-
Or
I
You
think-
put him 5th.
Yeah, 100%. But I think there also wasn't a top 4 like this when I put him 5th. But I think Hakimi this season was better than Carvajal's best season for Real Madrid.
I think just Vitinha should be above Hakimi.
No, I disagree.
The importance
I
of
put
each of
Vitinha
those.
above Hakimi as well.
The importance of Vitinha versus Hakimi last season was.
When I watch Vitinha, it's like, okay, yeah, this guy's definitely amazing, going to be one of the best of his generation. When I watch Hakimi, it's like, oh, you're watching the best of his generation in his
but
position.
because like systematic, he was allowed to be like most fullbacks aren't allowed to go where Hakimi was allowed to go last season.
But
he was getting
you say that,
passes. He was getting
but it's
cross
'cause
pass.
Other right backs don't have the speed and smartness to also be able to defend at the level that Hakimi did.
But Hakimi's defensive was.
It was good,
Don't
bro.
act like
Yeah,
it was. Don't act like it was anywhere near world class.
It was world class last
Oh,
year.
last year it was.
His ability
It was
of
not.
defending
It
may
was
not be
not.
world class, but last year he was the
Bro, put him in like Liverpool last season, bro. He's getting cooked by Premier League.
It's
That's
because he
hypothetical.
plays in a very
No.
good system at PSG.
No. He did not defend. He did not defend one-on-one.
You're talking about him as if he's Jeremy Frimpong. He's not Jeremy Frimpong, bro. This guy's a genuine world-class right back. Any
He was
aspect you want to speak
never
about it.
backpedaling and fucking
Didn't
one-on-one.
need to
he
go.
was
This
a
guy
runner.
just turned around
Defending.
and just sped to people. Like,
Bro, do you remember in the Champions League final how high up the pitch he was defending?
Yeah.
Like you're acting
High
like
press.
every right back needs to be a Gary Neville in his back four and just defend. No, bro, there's ways that like he was maximized as a player last year and you watch an all-timer right back season.
And he has the moments, the crucial goals, even in the final and throughout the Champions League. So for a fullback, it's pretty insane.
Opening goal in that Champions League final, by the way, that one that started
Yeah.
the destruction.
Gentlemen, we are now into the top 4. We're nearing that podium positions. Gentlemen, in the top 4, we have a Premier League icon. Let's talk about him. Mohamed Salah arguably delivered his best season yet under Arne Slot with 29 goals and 18 assists in 38 games. He set the record for most goal involvements in a 38-game Premier League season and helped Liverpool clinch the title emphatically.
When Liverpool needed him most, he was a ghost. This is Mo Salah.
I had Salah 3, so
That's crazy.
Doesn't deserve
Did we all have him at 4?
I had him
at
at 4.
I think we're yes, obviously his Champions League campaign did not end how we wanted it to be. 100% I agree on that, but we're underrating what he did in the Prem last season. The Prem, which we all consensus say is the hardest league in the world, he dropped the most goals and assists ever by any player in one single campaign.
I agree, and that deserves recognition. That deserves a finish, very high in the Ballon d'Or rankings. However, the players above him...
We're going to speak about a player in a couple seconds that had a very good Champions League campaign, but an underwhelming domestic campaign. So, I don't know. It depends what you value. Now we're going to see, like, we're picking at straws here because obviously we're talking about all four, top 4 had amazing seasons. So,
to me, Salah was a clear 4. There's no margin.
I probably place more importance on Premier League than you guys. So,
and then 4, Salah, and then everyone else.
I disagree. I disagree completely.
I think there's an argument for Vitinha and Salah.
For me, the top 2 were in their own tier. Now these 2 are in their own tier, and I just picked Salah.
But you're putting importance on the Premier League, but then before for Haaland and Guirassy, you were ripping the goals?
Because Haaland and Guirassy did not drop the most goals and assists ever seen in any single Premier League campaign ever.
And Mbappe gets dropped because of big goal sessions and big games.
La Liga,
Gyökeres gets
La Liga, we're talking about La Liga. Once again, it's not the Premier League. The Prem, all the other leagues.
Who's talking about leagues? I'm talking about in big games in the Champions League. You said that Mbappe wasn't there for his team.
But Salah dropped more goals and assists. Salah dropped more goals and assists in the Prem last year than Mbappe in La Liga.
Why are you singling out domestic for Mbappe, but all comps?
Because Premier League is not. Stop comparing the Premier League to these shitty ass fucking leagues, please.
I watched the Premier League and I watched Mo Salah, bro. It like if you watch Mbappe in the La Liga, miles clear of the dominance level.
Let's just. We're not going to speak about this, but FPL wise, the guy who finished second place didn't even fucking touch his team all season. He just had Salah.
Good for him.
Great metric.
Great metric.
It was a Mo Salah team.
Great metric. Mo Salah does not touch the top 3 in my opinion.
I think, unfortunately, that nearing the end of the season, especially that after that PSG loss, I think common consensus was, unfortunately, you have to write him off, barring anything else that happened. But
bro, you cannot ghost in Champions League big games. You cannot 2 legs ghosted versus PSG.
So now,
generational
in the future,
ghosting.
we're setting a bar that you can break the Premier League goals and assists record. Doesn't matter the number you get. It really doesn't matter how many goals and assists you get in the Prem.
Goals if you want.
If you have a couple bad games in CL,
I think
done.
But what
brother,
about
swipe to the side.
I was gonna say
Haaland, though, unfortunately, like you think he deserved the Ballon d'Or when he was in that top 2 with Messi?
But that once again, that was a World Cup year where Messi won the World Cup being the best player.
We set the precedence ahead because Messi had the bigger moments.
And Haaland didn't even make the World Cup that year.
Yeah, he didn't. He wasn't in it.
Yeah.
But again, it's whether you value the big moments or the stats or whatever. And to me, it sounds like you value the stats more.
Yeah.
Bro, you're acting as if Salah did not have a generational Premier League season.
He did, and so did Haaland in 2022, but Messi won the World Cup.
He had 2 bad games against PSG, and now we write off his complete season.
No, definitely.
Nobody did that.
It's not right off his season. I think we acknowledge that he had a generational season, but the people above him not only had generational seasons, but showed up.
Well, say number 3. I want to see this generational campaign that he had domestically. Go.
Gentlemen, let's get into it. In the number 3 spot, it is a Barcelona winger. Let's see which one it is. Rafinha stepped into the 2024-25 season as a pivotal figure for Barcelona under Hansi Flick, stepping up with goals and assists in all competitions. In 36 La Liga appearances, he notched 18 goals and 9 assists, while across all competitions, he was central to Barcelona's charge in the league title and domestic cup success. His impact won him La Liga Player of the Season.
Okay, so Rafinha.
I actually checked on FOMO before this video started. Rafinha got how many goals and assists?
25, I think, or 26 in La Liga. That's fucking air.
Yeah, there you go.
And then you start thinking, okay, why could he beat number 3? Oh, his Champions League stats.
Yeah,
he was
but once
part
again,
of the top scorers.
If La Liga played in the Rafinha played in the Prem last season, if he got 26 in La Liga, he would probably get 20. Let's just say generous. I'll say you got 20. 20 plus a CL semi does not get you in the top 4. This is obvious Barcelona tax. But this is obvious Barcelona.
Sounds like a hypothetical what you just said.
Yeah. because they ended up winning a domestic trouble.
I'm trying to compare seasons. Mo Salah broke a Premier League record. Rafinha was an average player in La Liga, very good in Champions League. Okay, I'm not going to say average. That's right. That was
a little too far.
But he was not even, let's say, a top 3 Barcelona player in La Liga.
He won. Didn't he win La Liga player of the season?
That's fucking crazy if he did. The bar is
maybe
fucking
Yamal
hell.
did.
The bar is in hell if
But
he
it's
did.
between Yamal and Rafinha last season.
How can you sit here and tell me?
Rafinha won the award.
How can you sit here and tell me that Rafinha wasn't the best player in La Liga last season?
18 goals.
Mbappe was by far better than Rafinha in La Liga. Mbappe.
Just because of goals, just because of fucking fault mob notifications.
Yamal was way better than Rafinha last year. I mean, are you going to debate that? No one's going to debate that. Pedri was arguably better in La Liga than him.
I think that's crazy to say. I don't even think La Liga fans would agree with you.
Let them disagree. I don't give a shit, bro. Rafinha's so overrated. Honestly, if he's on this list next year, I'll be surprised.
Because I agree with you, Rafinha probably won't have the same season that he did last season. I think that was an exception to the rule. But he still had that season he had. You can't argue.
Yeah, so that's why he's 4th place on my list.
So, boys, we're down to the final 2 positions in these Ballon d'Or rankings. We will be talking about both of them before we reveal who we have as the Ballon d'Or winner. Gentlemen, here are the 2 nominees. We are now down to the final 2 positions in our Ballon d'Or rankings. The 2 nominees up for the award are Lamine Yamal and Ousmane Dembele. Starting with Lamine Yamal, he had a breakout 2024-25 season with Barcelona. In La Liga and all competitions, he scored 18 goals and racked up 21 assists, while setting records like being the youngest scorer in El Clasico. While Ousmane Dembele enjoyed a standout campaign as well, re-establishing himself as one of Europe's top forwards under PSG, winning the Continental Treble, Ligue 1 Player of the Year, the Golden Boot, and was voted the Champions League Player of the Season.
These top 2 were in a tier of their own. I think we can all agree. Because
100%.
Dembele, I mean, the goal-scoring stats speak for themselves, and the fact that you won a quadruple definitely deserves to be in the top 2. And Yamal, if we're talking purely eye test, we can all agree this was the best player in the world last year.
Yamal wins the eye test Ballon d'Or.
Really?
Yes.
He wins the eye test Ballon d'Or.
But
now let's talk about football.
Yeah, I know, but Yamal had the stats to back it up too. Like
Not necessarily.
Not necessarily, but we all know.
Because this guy
what
was
he did
fucking
in
yapping
the
up a storm about Rafinha's domestic goal count. How about you pull up Yamal's goal count?
When the team was in a Champions League semi, who did they turn to? Did they turn to the Champions League demon, Rafinha? Or did they turn to the 17-year-old that was fucking beating every single player?
Didn't Rafinha score 2 goals?
When Inter Milan,
the banger.
When Inter Milan players were
that banger of a shot.
Yeah, it was an own goal, but yeah, sure. So it hit off the crossbar and off Summer into the net.
Yeah, I want to see you try that shot.
You want to speak as if you know the entire Barcelona encyclopedia.
No, but everything you're saying,
like he's a quarterback, like he's Kyler Murray.
Look at Millie. Look at Millie.
When Inter Milan were interviewed after the game, saying who was the best player they've played against,
Yamal.
Every single player, Yamal. It wasn't there wasn't even a Rafinha mention, I think.
Not that I remember, but I remember everyone saying Yamal.
It was Yamal, and that was. Did Inter play PSG? I don't think they did last season, huh?
Like a league phase?
Yeah. No. So that would have been cool if they all mentioned Yamal, even though they played Dembele. But yeah, anyone who knows football knows Yamal was the best player in the world last season. So.
With all that said, I agree that Yamal is my Ballon d'Or winner. I think he's shown it in games where he didn't score an assist. He was the best player on the pitch.
Well, I mean, Millie, reveal the results.
So, gentlemen, we have Yamal, we have Dembele. Let's reveal who we believe should be the Ballon d'Or winner. With our votes, we believe the winner of the Ballon d'Or will be a tie.
Damn. Well, now we know you guys voted for Yamal. Me and Melly voted for Dembele. But listen, I'm not even that passionate about saying Dembele because it's so close. Because I want it to be Yamal, but I know Yamal will win.
Who do
6
I
more.
actually think it's going to be? I actually think it's going to be Dembele.
But
I agree with that.
Like I know Dembele is going to win the Ballon d'Or, which is sad. But I hope a Rodri situation happens. Like we need PSG to boycott the Ballon d'Or, and we need Yamal to win the Ballon d'Or because I can't believe it with the Real Madrid kid. I'm saying this guy's the best player in the world by far. It's not even close.
Yeah, I know, but that doesn't. That's
objective.
Yeah, but the Ballon d'Or
It's
is based
subjective.
on. No, it's based on merit. Like it's meriting the Ballon d'Or. Lamine Yamal is the best player. He was the best player in the world. Like Haaland should have been much higher based on how good of a player he is, but. Bro, I want to agree with you, but Dembele couldn't have done more than
Over the
deserve a
last
Ballon
12
d'Or.
months, would you have rather Dembele or Yamal on your team?
Yamal.
Bro, I'd rather Yamal from the day of inception.
Yeah, I agree.
But it's Dembele did everything you possibly could have to win the Ballon d'Or.
There's not much more he can
Unless
do.
like France won the Nations League and maybe they won the final versus Chelsea in the Club World
Or if
Cup.
Dembele won the
That's the thing.
We have a draw, but I mean, the comment section will give us a bigger sample size. If we see a lot of Dembeles, if we see a lot of Yamals, then we'll make our decision on that. But let us know in the comments who you guys think deserves the Ballon d'Or.
So we believe it'll be either Yamal or Dembele winning the Ballon d'Or, and we are split 50-50. So like Vara said, leave a comment down below on who you think should win the Ballon d'Or. And as always, we want to thank our patrons for the continuous support you guys show us week in and week out. You guys are the absolute best. Stay tuned for the monthly video as well. Boys, take them home.
The monthly video will be a video basically where we're drafting players from all 4 of our teams. So it's going to be Inter, Milan, Juve, Man United, and we're going to see who can build the best starting 11 with a draft style video. So
How many United players?
11.
Zilch.
Well, there's already 11 here. So, well, no, we actually are forced to pick one player from each of our squads. So.
Who do I pick?
Sucks.
Anyway, go cut merch too. Take care, everyone.
Ciao.